Okay, dude, you can hear me.
I can hear you. I cannot. It should take a second. There he is.
You can see me?
Oh my God.
Oh, there I am. Dude.
I can't even see you. All I see is the beard.
Oh, yeah. Well, all you see is I just crushed one of these puppies. It still has the hanging Chad on it. I got my brand new box here.
Oh, baby.
When's the coconut coming out? I cannot wait for it.
It's coming out, and it's going to take about 8 weeks. And then after that, we got chocolate peanut butter.
Oh, damn you.
Just wait. We have a whole list of things. We've been getting some really cool requests. Screw talking about profit. Let's just talk about bars.
I do want to talk about your stuff. I honestly love it. And, I was away for 4 weeks. I took a 4-week vacation. Today's literally my first day back in the office. And I do not lie. As of this morning, I started salivating thinking about my first Rewind bar because I haven't had one in 4 weeks. I have them all in my office here.
No, you need the bars. You know what? Hey, Mike and everyone watching, I might freeze for like 10 seconds. I'm just switching the internet connection because it's a little wonky. Give me like 5 seconds. It's a little wonky. Hold on, everyone.
I'll have a bigger beard when you come back.
All right, that should be better now. All right, let me do the official.
Did my beard grow in those last 5 minutes?
Your beard has actually grown.
It's gotten bigger. Yeah. That's how I roll.
Well, that's that's 4 weeks vacation.
This is 5 hours of growth. That's it.
As you guys could tell, Mike and I have a great relationship. There's going to be zero value added here. It's just going to be us BSing.
I know.
I got to come back and do the co-hosting duties again for your podcast.
Oh my gosh, we need you desperately. That was so much fun.
It was a blast. All right, can I do the official intro? Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker today, kicking off this day 2 of Momentum Rocks, is, can I just say it, my best friend?
I think I think we're soulmates. And best friends. We we went on our first date in Rockefeller Center, and there was this beautiful young woman with us that we were both ignoring because I was so enamored by you.
You had us both as your guests when you were on the CNBC, and we were there waiting in the wings, and we did ignore her.
We ordered a chai latte. We both got a straw. Our straws crossed.
And here's the funny thing, and I mentioned this yesterday. You weren't on that. I was a fan of you and your work before we met. I had read. Was the toilet paper? What was the first book you wrote?
Yeah, first book was Strategically Placed Right Here, Toilet Paper.
The Toilet Paper Entrepreneur, and then I got I think it was Pumpkin Plan next, and then I read Surge, which was about getting more customers, and then you came out with Profit First, and then we connected. And if you don't know Mike Michaelowicz, so his book, and it's safe to say your book Profit First really has impacted hundreds of thousands of businesses and the way they run their business and just the way they do accounting is set in the account. So what I want to do, and we have 15 minutes. I wish we could have 15 hours because we'd have some fun.
Oh my gosh.
Let's give people kind of the best of the best. We have a lot of entrepreneurs on, Mike. Sometimes they're kind of screwy with profit. Let's just lay it on me. We could talk profit.
So we'll do in 3 minutes. And I also want to say in my newest book, you're in there. You're the ending story of the entire book in Clockwork.
And I love that book.
First, here was my realization. The traditional formula for accounting tells us that profit comes last. And we all know it. Sales minus expenses equals profit. Everyone watching this call knows that. It's the foundational formula. And what I want to call out is bullshit on it because there was a study conducted in part by the SBA. There's other factions. 83% of small businesses are not profitable. 83% of small businesses in the U.S., and this is globally true too, survive check by check. If I don't get deposits in today, I won't be able to cover payroll or my rent and absolutely never pay myself. And I suspect, Ryan, that means almost everyone watching right now can relate to that because that's the situation you're in statistically. That's the situation I was in. I thought there was something wrong with me. Listen, everyone watching this started a business or invested into one. You make extraordinary efforts. I'm sure you work like an animal, sacrificing your family and friends to make the business successful. You can sell, you can generate prospects, you can do a million facets of your business. Yet how come is it that we can't figure out profit? Almost no one can figure out profit. The reason is not, there is no flaw in you. The foundational system we're using is flawed. When profit comes last, it means it's insignificant. You would never get rushed to the hospital for a cardiovascular event and then come out and say, you know what, starting today, I'm going to put my health last. That was my Jim. I was trying to go.
I was going to say, you might not say it, but I would try to use that voice whenever possible.
I would, yeah. Merry, Merry. Merry Christmas, movie house.
Like, yeah, I didn't know if someone talking about profit, you're like from the 1930s back.
Yeah, right. Every time the bell rings. So listen, you wouldn't come out of the hospital saying, I'm going to start putting my health last, starting today. You say, I put my health first. When something comes first, that means it is significant and must be addressed. When something comes last, it's the manana syndrome. Profit is treated last. What happens for most of us is right around now, tax season's about to begin. We're going to start looking at our numbers. Our accountant will say, sorry, you didn't have profit. And then we say, well, maybe next year. And we kick the profit can down the road. So here's the solution. Take your profit first. And the most simplistic implementation of this is every time you have a deposit starting today, take a predetermined percentage, allocate that toward an account called profit. Hide the money away from yourself. Don't touch it. But take your profit literally first. Then run your business off the remainder. This is the pay yourself first principle applied to business. And I can promise you, if you do this, it assures profitability because you've been taking it first. But it will kick in this innovative spirit. You'll learn how to operate your business properly. Because when you take your profit first, you're reverse engineering profitability. Your business will tell you what you must run your business off of to sustain that profitability.
Based on what you've seen, and you have people now who are certified.
We have over 300 people certified in this process that teach it, yeah.
You were going to call it Michaelowicz certified, but no one could spell it.
I was, but no one could spell it.
No one can spell Michaelowicz. So they're profit first professionals. Based on what you've seen, thousands and thousands of businesses, approximately what percentage do people take as profit?
So listen, businesses get up to, and this is industry agnostic. I don't care if you're a pizza shop or a membership organization or a lawyer, it doesn't matter. Businesses get to about 20 to 25% easily. Industry agnostic, even the most cutthroat industries, manufacturing, where we lose money on every transaction, but we make it up on volume, even those businesses. But here's the mistake that people make. They hear about profit first. They understand it, like it's so simple. I'm going to try it. And then they start off at 20% or 25% or whatever it is. And it's such an abrupt shift to the business. It's best to fail. The second you start taking 25%, you won't be able to pay a single bill. And then we throw it out the window and say profit first doesn't work. Mm-hmm. The key for a successful implementation, we have now well over 100,000 businesses that have implemented it because we have so many implementers out there. Businesses that successfully do this start slow. You start off with 1% because listen, if you've never had profit before, and you take 1% of a $1,000 deposit, I'm saying take $10 because if you're able to run that business off $1,000, you can run off $990. You can find that, but now you've instilled profitability. Then every quarter we go up, 2%, 3%, and over time, and maybe it takes 6 or 7 iterations, maybe it takes 10 or 20, but you will get to these percentages and have permanent profitability.
You know what and here's the thing, and a lot of people know you as the profit first guy, but you've written, you could see, of course, very strategically placed.
Strategically, where would they be? I don't know.
I don't know. And you can see all the records I produced in the back behind.
Right.
So I'm going to, and you've been interviewed 1,000 times on podcasts and all this stuff. I'm going to ask you a question. You might have never been asked before, Mike. You ready for this? We're going to put you on the hot seat.
The answer is 7.
The answer is 7. I was going to ask you what's 4 plus 3. And how did you know?
Yeah.
You got it. Let's start with your first book. And you got like 20 seconds. Give me the big idea, and let's go sequentially. The big idea from each book.
Toilet paper entrepreneur. The big idea is a lack of resources is your biggest ally, yet most entrepreneurs believe they need money, a network of contacts, even a great idea to have a successful business. It's actually the lack of those things that spawn the most successful businesses.
It makes you become more creative.
Scary, yeah.
Right.
Necessity is the mother of invention. That's the essence of it, yeah.
Nice. Next book. What was
Next book was Sir or the Pumpkin Plan. Pumpkin Plan is it's actually by firing clients that you'll spawn the healthiest and fastest growth. I took the concept from organic pumpkin farmers who grow colossal pumpkins, and it's the process of actually killing pumpkins that spawns focus and growth in the colossal pumpkin. I translated into business. It's the removal of things that will actually make you grow faster.
So firing client, is there another thing that they should remove as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's a sequence of 7 steps, but firing clients is the number one. Dropping products. There's this thing called the Pareto overlap. So many people know about the Pareto principle, 80-20, but they don't know the Pareto overlap. And here's what it is. 20% of your clients yield 80% of your revenue, but 20% of your products or services yield 80% of your profitability. You must match that 20% of clients with the 20% of profit of products, and you'll have a wildly successful business. It's the firing of clients and the firing of the bad products or offering that will also be necessary.
And by the way, you did work the number 7 in there as well. You said you had 7 things in the pumpkin plan. So the answer before.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Which is total bullshit. It's right, but I had to say.
But you did not use the word agnostic again. You've only used it twice.
I will.
Because I said before, you have to use it at least 3 times.
You did say that, yeah. Well,
before we started. Number 3, I think, was surge.
Yeah, so surge is how to catch market momentum. Most entrepreneurs go into a market and they say, okay, I want to sell this thing. I got to build awareness. And they make this Herculean effort through, maybe Facebook ads or other kind of marketing, physically present speaking, doing things like this. There's actually the fastest way to grow in marketing is none of those things. It's to look at a trend in the market and see where the movement of the market is going, then place your offering in front of a movement, and the movement actually carries you forward. Because you're in the classic undersupply mode. You're the only supplier offering this new thing that the market needs. So surge helps you determine where a movement of the market is happening, position yourself in front of it, and catch that momentum. And it's industry agnostic. It does not need to be.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Got it. 7 times.
Could you give me one example of a surge company or a product or something?
Yeah. So, I talked about UGG. I did an extensive study. I talked with Brian Smith, interviewed him over days.
UGG, the shoe company.
UGG, the shoe company. What he realized was there was a trend triggered by neoprene. Neoprene is that material you can wear in water to contain your body temperature. This allowed surfers to swim in the middle of the winter. So in the 1960s, you would only surf during the summer days. Now with neoprene and the advancements and the flexibility, you could surf year round. What he did realize when you came out of the water, your feet were exposed because you want to get the grip on the surfboard. Your feet were freezing cold. He saw surfers running out of the water, going to fireplaces, trying to heat up their feet, wrapping towels around it. And he said, there is a growing need because of neoprene. We need a boot that'll keep you warm. He took a concept from Australia, brought it to the US, grew $1 billion brand.
Not bad.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Well, Profit First, I'm looking back. Profit First, we already went through. And then your most recent book, Clockwork.
Clockwork, yeah. Which my best friend from high school was kind enough to buy a copy of Clockwork, crossed out the L, or white, he put blue over it and sent it to me. So
I could figure out what that is.
Yeah. I think, oh, thank you. Clockwork is the subtitle is Design Your Business to Run Itself. Sadly, the vast majority of entrepreneurs will experience 2 travesties in their entrepreneurial endeavors. They'll never be profitable, and they'll work like animals exhaustively and never get past that. And it's a hope that one day, miraculously, everything will switch. In fact, I sat down with Michael Gerber, the author of E-Myth, a must-read book. He's a eccentric gentleman, and we had dinner
I've talked to him before. Yes.
Okay, so we did a keynote together in Mexico. We have dinner together, and I said, Michael, I love E-Myth. I have one challenge I want to pose to you. I said, you say in the book that you go from in the business to on the business. The people we are interpreting as entrepreneurs that is a switch that one day this will happen. I believe it's a throttle. I won't use his verbiage because he likes to F-bomb a lot. But it invoked a great discussion, and subsequently I brought about Clockwork. Clockwork is the throttle from working into on. I call it from doing work to designing the outcomes, and it walks you through the 6. No, actually it's 7 in here too. The 7 steps. Yeah, that's right. The 7 steps to transitioning you from doing work to designing work. Here was the biggest aha I had. Many entrepreneurs will never get past 3 employees. And the reason is as they go through this transition, they think they are starting to delegate work, but they don't. They do what's called a deciding. assignment. And a deciding assignment is where, Ryan, you may give me a task, like, Mike, go do invoicing. I start doing the invoicing, and I come back to you with a question. Should I sort by last name or first name? And you make a decision for me saying, you know what, sort by last name. That's how we do it. I come back and say, do we bill in 15-minute increments or hourly? And you decide. You're giving me the responsibility for the physical action, but not the capability to decide. Delegation is assigning the outcome, not just the task. It's assigning the decision-making to the other person. So most of us say we're delegating, but we're not. We're deciding. And therefore, our mind is constantly being drawn everywhere, and that restricts the growth of the company. We need to assign outcomes, and we need to reward employees for making decisions. We need to encourage making decisions, even wrong decisions. Right. We need to support them because they're doing what's in the best interest of the company.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because Kate's here now, and she was the one behind the scenes. You probably got the emails from Kate, and I didn't put any restrictions on her emailing all the speakers. I said, write the email, set it up, use whatever system you want, however you want to do it, and go, right? Like, I didn't want to micromanage and do all that. So she even said to me, hey, do you want to check the email? I'm like, looks good. Just go.
And that's the ultimate. Now, there's a fine line between abdication and delegation. Abdication is where you just do, and then when it doesn't come out right, we get all in their face and say, why is this wrong? I told you to do something. Delegation. By the way,
you got to use the other voice from, like, the hospital voice.
Why is this wrong? No, that's not right. It's more, Murray, why is this wrong? I don't get it. So abdication is just assigning and then being frustrated that you don't get the outcome you want. Delegation is clarity on the vision, getting to an agreed common outcome. So it is the right thing to say, I don't care, just get it out. But I'm sure you also said, here's the objectives we're trying to achieve. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure people arrive on time and, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So it's an agreement to the objectives. That's delegation.
Mike, as we wrap this up, parting words of advice for all the entrepreneurs who just want to do this, want to build a good business, and maybe even have a nice beard like you one day.
So go on a 4-week vacation and don't shave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that advice for the women too?
I was talking to the women. Yeah, the guys, I don't care. The takeaway is this, that if you continue to do what you're doing, you'll continue to get the results you're getting. And if you're frustrated, we need to always move into something uncomfortable, into something new. That's the only way to get new results. The problem is the people that go into the uncomfortable often dive in. They go so far in and it doesn't work, or they struggle with it. And they use that as an affirmation to return back to the old ways. They say, clearly the new way doesn't work. Small steps. That's the key. Small steps. So with Profit First, if you want to make your business profitable, I encourage you to set up one account today. That's it. There's a whole system. You can read it in the book, but just set one account, the profit account, and allocate 1%. Small step. If you want to have your business start running like clockwork, just start delegating one task, not everything, just one thing, and get into the habit. That will slowly move you toward magnificent change as opposed to diving into it and making no change because it fails so fast.
Yeah. What is the best way for people to learn more about the amazing Mike Michaelowicz?
So I do have a website called MikeMichaelowicz.com. Here's the problem, Ryan. No one can spell it. That's why I had that failed licensing venture, the Michaelowicz clan. But what you can do is go to Mike Motorbike. So my nickname in high school was Mike Motorbike. Here's the great irony. I've never driven a motorcycle in my life. I never will. But if you go to MikeMotorbike.com, that'll bring you to my site. I used to write for the Wall Street Journal. You can get all those articles. I'm a podcaster. My books are there and stuff like that.
And Lou just wrote, he could happily watch and listen to us talk the rest of the day.
Then we should keep going, bro.
Well, let's go. Check out Mike's podcast. It is really good. It's professionally created. He has great content on there, and they can find that at your site as well. Right? Links to your podcast.
You go to MikeMotorbike.com. There's a podcast tab, and would love to have you as a subscriber. Check it out. We have a lot of fun and a lot of learning.
And I was a guest co-host. I came down to Jersey, Boonton. Is that how you say it?
Yes. Boonton, New Jersey. You were on, I think, 4 episodes. Maybe it was 3. And I feel sorry for every guest because we attacked them. We asked questions, and as they start answering, we would just go into our own banter and say, "Could you hold off for a second? We're talking."
We were definitely good cop, bad cop. I was just like, there was one guy with the deli. I'm like, scratch it, do it, and you're like, well,
Yeah. He's like, I'm desperate. My wife just left me. I don't know what to do. And you're like, stop being such a sissy. Man up.
Here is my goal one day. Mike and Mike's a busy guy. He's got all the programs and Profit First, and and you have a new podcast you're doing now, right? You're co-hosting with Adrian for Clockwork.
Yeah. With Adrian, yep, and she's leading it. And I know where you're getting to, and I want to tell you something about that too. The TV, right?
Yeah, well, you got a TV show coming, right?
Well, I just filmed a sizzle. I can't say who's with. It's with a major network, but and a sizzle is basically pre-pilot, so there's no commitment or no guarantee it'll go. It's about a 1 in 50 shot for most sizzle reels. But this is my 5th go around at a different TV show. But if this works, brother, my commitment is to get your ass on there, and we just wreck things.
I will destroy
like animals.
I will destroy. And then one day, you and I, simple podcast. We could just.
I totally want to do that.
Yeah, even if it's just once a month. Just you and I just destroying people.
I so want to do that. Just bullshitting.
That's it. There'd be
just bullshit.
99%.
That could be the title, by the way. Just bullshit. That's the title.
Just bullshit. 99% us just jamming and 1% business.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and
Mike.
1% feelings.
Yes, and Kate's putting the link in there to Mike Michaelowicz, because Mike Motorboat will redirect to Mike Michaelowicz.
Yeah, it's Mike Motorbike, not Motorboat. All right. Now I know where your mind is. All right, it's Mike Motorbike. And the truth reveals. Welcome to Momentum Rocks. Starring Ryan.
Day 2.
Mike Motorbike. Welcome to Momentum Rocks.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Wait, I'm crying. Hold on.
Ryan Lee, the former star from Ramblo, after his failed porn career, started. The former Ramblo star now starts a snack bar system. Have your rewind this morning and add 2 inches.
I can't wait. Oh, okay.
I'm going to rename these from Rewind to Throttle.
Okay.
His new movie, Ryan's Privates, is
Shaving Ryan's Privates. Yeah.
Saving Ryan's Privates is about to come out.
Well, because there was something called Shaving Ryan's Privates. That's a whole nother.
Was it right. Shaving Ryan's Privates?
Yeah, Shaving Ryan's Privates. Okay. So, oh my God. All right, Mike. This is why I wanted. If they ever saw our text to each other, because we text.
Oh my God.
Almost every day to each other, and it's this.
The ridiculousness, the inappropriateness, but there's love in every single one. It's like, I love you, man. Like you can just hear that every time.
It is, Mike. You're the best. You know I love you.
You're the best, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Michaelowicz. There he is. We're gonna have to.
Thanks all.
All right. See you, buddy.
All right. Keep motorboating.
Bye.